trespass sign, time to kill. Nobody's gonna get hurt, so what's the big deal? Somebody truck.
Hey, what's up guys? So I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel where I'm going to be reviewing cool, unique cars and their owners and see what they plan on doing. As you can see behind me, we have a F250, and it's a little bit special of an F250, probably something you've never seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and interview the owner, and we're going to talk to him about what he plans on doing with the build, and we're just going to follow the build over the next few months. Alright guys, so this is the owner of the truck.
Hey, I'm Spencer. This is my truck. It's a 2004 F250, but the thing that makes it cool is it's actually a Georgia DOT Hero truck. So, it's basically an F250 underneath, but with a few things extra added onto it. It's got, toolboxes, a big bumper, and yeah.
So what made you want to get this particular truck?
I love yellow and lime green and anything bright and obnoxious, and when I saw this, it just really screamed at me.
So Spencer, what are your short-term goals for this truck? What are you trying to achieve?
So basically, I just want to get a small lift, about 6.5 inches, some 37-inch tires, clean it up, make it kind of presentable as a daily driver, make the interior kind of nice, because right now it's cloth. So just make it more of a cool, functional truck as still a DOT truck.
So what was something that made you want to turn this into your project car?
So I've had a few projects before, actually a lot of projects before. I've usually stuck to cars. I just got rid of my BMW, I had a 135. That was my last project. And I really figured out that this was probably something I should put more time and energy into, just because it's a big truck, it's a diesel, I'm going to get a lot of life out of it. Should be pretty reliable, and it's actually a useful vehicle, not just a fast sports car.
So what's something about this truck that just looking at it, seeing it's bright and it's got like all these like reflectors on it, what's something that nobody would guess about this?
It actually has an annoying backup sensor that they did not disconnect when they sold me the truck. They got rid of all the graphics, but they left the backup sensor, so when you put it in reverse, it beeps, which is hilarious.
That's pretty cool. I like that. So, is this your daily, and what kind of gas mileage does it get if it is?
It actually is my daily now. I used to have SUV that I daily, but then once I got this, I like it a lot, so this is my daily currently. And I've only had to fill the tank once so far, because it is a 38-gallon tank, but it should get around 18 miles a gallon, which is pretty standard for a 6-liter turbo diesel.
Alright, so 6-liter turbo diesel, let's talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a lot about this engine? Is there any pitfalls to this particular engine? Have they modified it for like street use versus because it was a emergency vehicle?
So the 6-liter diesel, a 6.0 from Ford, it's between 2003 to 2008, Ford had the 6-liter diesel. This is my first 6.0, but my brother has had 3. So he's kind of the person that enticed me that, hey, this could be a good truck. Pretty solid. He actually has one now. There's a few pitfalls. The 6.0 is very common to blow head gaskets and injectors to fail. A few other little things with EGR valves and stuff, but that kind of leads into the head gaskets. This truck is bone stock. Still has the original head gaskets, 250,000 miles. So it might be getting there. Potentially need head gaskets soon. But this truck does have a coolant filter system, which is what people put on the 6.0 to kind of help it not blow the head gasket, because the problem is when the coolant gels up, bad things happen, head gaskets blow. So if you can filter the coolant, that usually will stop the head gaskets from blowing.
Alright, so it seems like the coolant filter is one of the things that they did to like mitigate some of the risks with having these engines blow. Is there anything else that you could think of?
Yeah, they actually have a light on the dash. The 6.0s, when they blow injectors, it's because they run out of fuel pressure. And there's actually a light that it'll come on if the fuel pressure drops too low, so I think that helps save the injectors.
So where did you find a vehicle like this?
I got this at a government auction website. They said it needed an engine. They said the engine was blown. So the auction was going for, it was about $1,300 or $1,400, and I figured if I could get it less than $2,500, then I think it'd be worth it. Because I budgeted, so I spent $2,500, I could put about $2,000 into it, be in under less than $5,000, and have a good truck. It ended up getting me for less than $1,700, and it just needed to start it.
Okay, so wait a second. You're telling me that you paid $1,700 for the truck and it said it had a blown motor. How did you know it was a starter? What gave you the thought to think, oh, let's just test the starter?
Well, the first thing I did, obviously, if someone says it's a blown motor, is see if it starts up. So when we first tried to crank it up, it just kind of clicked as if the batteries were dead. We tried to jump it didn't work, so we just assumed might as well replace the starter.
Oh, so you just went with gut instinct and were like, all right, how much does the starter cost?
I got it for $109.
$109. So you were like, okay, let's take a chance on a $109 part, see if it works. And you guys installed it and just cranked out?
Yeah, it turned over for a minute because it's been sitting for a while. So it had to kind of get the fuel and oil and everything flowing through the engine.
Yeah.
But once it cranked, it ran very, very smooth.
So how many miles have you put on it since you got it, roughly?
A little less than 1,000.
A little less than 1,000. Have you had any issues mechanically?
Yesterday, I just blew a low radiator hose.
Okay, so the hose just popped out.
Yeah, nothing else. But
Okay.
that was the only issue I've actually had with the truck.
Okay, cool. All right, so what kind of power does a truck like this make?
This is actually stock, and if my memory serves me correctly, it's 325 horsepower and 560 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow, that's a lot of torque.
Yeah.
So what type of stuff did they use it for people who are not from the Georgia area? Explain kind of what this truck was to the kids.
So the Hero truck is highway emergency response operations, and it's pretty much anyone who gets stuck on the side of the highway. They will come change a tire for you. If you get in an accident, there's a whole bunch of like kind of kitty litter stuff, so it'll soak up oil. So it's just to handle any emergencies on the highway. And it's also rated, it has a huge bumper, and the DOT rates this truck to move, I don't know the exact weight, but a fully loaded 18-wheeler off of the highway. It can push it, and that's the bumper is rated for that. I want to say it's 100,000 pounds. It's rated to push any truck.
So the DOT would actually use this truck with this massive bumper on it to push 18-wheelers off the road if they were broken or broken down or something like that.
Exactly. And this particular truck was actually the supervisor's truck. It does not have the utility bed. The general runaround trucks, you usually see a utility bed which has more day-to-day needs and stuff, but this is a supervisor, so it's more of a standard bed truck.
Okay. Cool. So let's check out some of the inside of this truck, and then could you take us for a drive?
Yeah, of course.
All right, Spencer. So let's take a look at the inside of the truck.
Yeah. So it is an XLT, so it's kind of the base model. It has cloth seats. It has the standard selectable four-wheel drive, not the electronic. And it does actually have power windows and power locks, which is nice. No clicker, no keyless, but yeah, it's...
So what's all this space here in the center?
So there used to be, it's supposed to be a center compartment, but they actually replaced it with strobe light controls, CB radios, and just other random switches. But it has two CB radios in it. All these strobe light areas are still wired. So these light holes on the side have wires going to them. So I actually ordered new lights to replace them all. They had to take them off because I can't have strobes. But just as standard lights, I ordered new ones. It'll be easy to wire up. So all these holes will be covered up with new lights.
Cool. So what do you got going on in the back of this bed over here? You seem like you got a lot of toolboxes.
I do. It's got actually four. It has the one up front, the two on the sides, and then one in the center. The center one they fill with like a desiccant, like a kitty litter. If there's ever oil spills, you just shovel it out, spread it on the ground. The side two have the strobe light still, and this is for smaller stuff. The front is just kind of a general purpose toolbox.
So it says Hero on the side here. What does Hero stand for?
Highway Emergency Response Operations, if I remember correctly.
Cool. Are you going to be putting stickers back on to like name up something different, or are you going to be cleaning it off?
Yeah, I'm going to clean it off. I'm kind of toying with the idea of putting stickers back on it. I don't think I can have Hero because I'm not a government hero worker, but I would like to have something kind of cool and witty back on the side to put graphics back on it. And I was already able to get some of the letters off on this side. With just some WD-40, it got most of the adhesive. And I just need to do the same thing for the back whenever I have time.
That's awesome. So do you know anything about this bumper? Is it a like custom bumper that they made, or is it like a Ford off the brand, or like off the shelf?
I actually do not know. I can't find markings anywhere on it. It is very heavy duty and it's coated in rubber, so you're actually able to push people off of the road because of this thin coating, but the rest of this is solid steel and it's very strong.
So what are we looking at over here?
This is a power outlet that is kind of a government use only. I can't find any plugs that actually use it, but it is a 12-volt socket, and I believe it is for air compressors, maybe welders, and stuff like that, maybe for jump starting cars as well.
Cool. So let's hear this back up sound real quick.
Yeah.
Crank her up. I'm going to do a video of it running. All right, guys, so let's go for a ride. All right, so you said the four-wheel drive system is a little bit different than a normal F350 or 250 of this era.
Sort of. So a lot of F250s of this year came with an electronic selectable shift, which usually goes about here. This actually has mechanical linkages, which I prefer because there's a lot less to go wrong. And my dad had an F250 with the electronic shifter, and it never worked very well because it's vacuum operated, which doesn't do very well on diesels. But it is four-wheel drive, which is nice.
So does it drive any different than a normal F250 that you've driven?
The only thing that really sticks out to me is the transmission shifts really hard. I don't know if that's something the DOT did or if this is just a solid transmission, but this transmission is very, very firm on this truck. And the AC works.
AC works.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything in the interior that a normal F250 would have come with that they like basically deleted?
So they deleted the center console. It used to have one, factory, it should have one, but they deleted it for miscellaneous electronics. And there's actually power wires here that still are live. This goes to a 100 amp breaker underneath the hood.
But besides the center console, everything is still present. They didn't like remove additional things that would have been features on the vehicle, did they?
Not that I know of. This is my first newer truck. The only other Ford I've had was a 95 F250, which was the old body style. But as far as this goes, I think the dash is, or the console is the only thing they removed. little known fact, this is actually a Ford color. They made this color specifically for fleet use. So if you go to the dealership, you can actually get touch-up paint in this exact color.
Oh, that's cool. So are you going to be doing any touch-up work on this car?
Yeah, it's got a few rock chips and a few dings on the side. And I would like to clean those up just to make the truck look a little bit cleaner.
Do you know what the color is called? Does it have a name or is it just a number?
It is lime yellow. That's what it's listed under Ford's website. It's a work truck paint code. But yeah, it's either fleet yellow or lime yellow.
That's super cool. And how many miles does the truck have, you said?
244,000.
Oh, wow. So it's just been broken in.
For a diesel, yeah.
So what do people normally take these 6.0 engines up to minus the head gasket issues?
Power-wise?
No, like how long do they last, the motors?
You can get 500,000 with relative ease, as long as you keep up with the maintenance. The biggest thing is oil changes, and that you use special arc oil, which is to prevent stiction, and that's what messes up the injectors. If you're on top of that and the coolant issue where it makes sure it doesn't gel up, then you'll have no problems hitting 500,000 miles.
And then the other half of it, the power. So if you were to get a tuner, how much could something like this make with the stock turbo?
The stock turbo on the 2003 and 2004 F250 is actually pretty big. It's a lot bigger than what they moved to in 05. So I say a lot bigger, it's a little bit bigger. So this should be able to hit a little over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, maybe 500 and something horsepower, somewhere in that range, but I'd need bigger injectors, I'd need tunes and head gaskets before I got anywhere close to that.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this review. Like and subscribe for more, and we'll be doing a follow on this particular build that Spencer has. We should be getting a lift in sometime soon in the next few weeks, and I'll actually be doing a video behind the scenes of installing it, and planning on following this build for the next 2 to 3 months. Comment, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.